I can't kill him, bro.
Is he still up there?
Yeah. I hit him! I didn't headshot him! I hit him! No! I hit him again! Let's go! I hit him! I didn't headshot him! I hit him! No! I hit him again! Let's go! Multiple, isn't it?
No, it's just him. It's just him.
Shit, I'm out of light ammo. I'm out of light ammo completely. I gotta try to master
It's
them.
1v1, you got this.
No, I don't.
You'll win these all the time. You are better.
Let's go!
Let's go! Baby!
Hey, what's going on, Champ Squad? My name is Vinsanity if you guys are new, and welcome back to another Apex Legends video. So I know it's been a little while since I last posted. I just really haven't been feeling the new LTM in Apex recently and decided to take a few days off. But today I'm going to be doing a guide for how to hit Masters in Season 8 of Apex Legends and beyond. Part of this guide will be pretty specific to the meta on Kings Canyon, but a lot of the tips I discuss will also apply for Olympus next split and World's Edge next season as well. I did get Masters this season. It took me about 85 games, where I won 16 of them, which I think is pretty solid. It's pretty efficient. It's not that many games overall, so we definitely made the most of the games we did play. Last season when I got Masters both splits, it took around 300 games, and this is probably in part due to the fact that Masters is definitely a bit easier to attain this season. With the Season 8 launch, Respawn changed ranked matchmaking so that all Diamond tier is the same from D4 on, rather than D3 being Pred and Masters lobbies like they were in the past. So now, with Masters and Preds being in their own elite lobbies, Diamond lobbies are significantly easier in my opinion, and Masters should be a little bit more within reach for many players who were previously hard stuck in D3. That being said, these lobbies can still be pretty difficult, especially with the Kings Canyon meta being what it is, so I'm going to provide my most thorough guide for my best tips for getting Masters in Season 8 of Apex Legends. So the main things I'm going to cover in today's video include playstyle, Kings Canyon meta, and team composition. So the first thing I'm going to discuss is playstyle on Kings Canyon in these higher tier rank lobbies. The truth is that even if you're one of the best players in the game, you just can't beat the 3 or 4 teams that show up sometimes on KC. This split, more than ever, you need to be careful about how you approach and take fights, and really notice whether you're taking too long in a fight, because especially in the central points on KC, you'll be surrounded by multiple teams if you end up poking for too long in a gunfight. If you really want to succeed in these lobbies, I think you should go into them with the following mentality. Try to take early, isolated fights off drop, especially if RNG seems to be in your favor, and otherwise, really try not to fight until late game unless there's a clear third-party opportunity that you think you guys could take. This can be a bit boring and really a little bit frustrating, but that's just how KC is. If you want to consistently gain RP, this is the safest approach to do so. You're generally going to want to avoid long distance range engagements because poking for more than a minute or so will attract more teams to you and make things more difficult. And if you do want to make it to late game consistently, I'd recommend rotating early, getting positioning, running a recon character who can scan survey beacons, and just playing it safe. Next up, to discuss the KC meta, I will admit that Kings Canyon is probably the most difficult ranked map, and even though the map did undergo some changes this past season, they're all on the edges or corners of the map, and I just don't think they really influence how the map is played in later rings. The only really helpful thing they do is provide a little bit more loot on this map, because the map doesn't have all that much loot. But once you get into second or third zone, all those new locations are kind of irrelevant and the map plays exactly the same. KC is still a pretty small map that's full of choke points, and to make things worse, there's just a ton of mobility options between all of the balloon towers, zips, and the portal at labs. Recognize this and try to be aware that even if you're fighting and you think you're alone, there's probably another team close enough to hear gunshots and take the opportunity to third party quickly. There are certain regions on KC that you really overall just want to avoid fighting at, in my opinion, because they're terrible choke points without a viable escape route, and you're just bound to get pinched. It's always a case-by-case basis, but when you're thinking about whether or not you should take a fight, think not only about how many teams are left and how well looted you are, but also about where on the map the fight's going to go down. Sometimes you just get the sense that you're not in a good area to fight in, and it's best to kind of trust that sense, disengage, rotate early, and play the endgame. So finally, I'm going to talk about team composition. Given just how rampant third parties are on Kings Canyon, it makes sense that the Revenant meta has come to dominate high tier rank this split. In my opinion, Revenant is pretty terrible for the ranked meta in this game because he gives your team a free push without consequences, and if used to third party, it pays off a large proportion of the time. Revenant's particularly lethal on Kings Canyon because with all the third parties, he provides your team a bit of a buffer where you can take some riskier fights without any real consequences and scrap together some KP a lot more easily. You won't really have to think as carefully about which fights you take, assuming you just use Totem to push, and overall, he does just make the job of getting KP a ton easier. To this end, Rev will definitely make it easier for your team to succeed in these lobbies and get Masters, but he's not the only legend that's viable this season. So I do think Rev is a good option, especially given the current meta. Pairing him with someone like Octane or Horizon that can get your team some height and high ground is very useful. I did run a fair bit of Revenant this season, but along with Revenant, I do think a really good team comp is Horizon, Gibby, and Bloodhound. Horizon's just a great addition to any team. She's pretty broken right now, as she can get your whole squad near instant high ground, and she can also get really nice angles on the opposing team with her lift. She can really beam someone as she's going up her lift with something like an R301 without taking a lot of, return fire. Gibby's also very versatile with his bubble, and his ult can take players off of high ground and end zone. And obviously someone like Bloodhound, just for his scans, is incredibly useful, and his ability to hit survey beacons, figure out where end zone is early on, is also great for early rotations. So my two best recommended team comps for Kings Canyon are probably someone like Revenant, and then either Horizon or Octane, and then Bloodhound or Gibby Horizon, Bloodhound. Those two team comps I think are really, really solid on this map. Revenant's always nice. He does make it a lot easier because you can take those riskier third-party pushes, but I don't think you need him necessarily. Sometimes he can get you killed if you don't know how to use him effectively, and you can also rely on his ultimate too much. So I do think Gibby, Horizon, Bloodhound's also a really solid option. They're all really good legends on their own. You get high ground, you get bubble, and there's a lot of versatility with that group. So I hope these tips are pretty helpful to you guys. I do think Masters is a lot more manageable this season. I will be going for Masters both splits, and then I may push for Pred next season in Season 9 of Apex Legends. Thanks for watching. Stick around for the rest of the gameplay. This was the win that got me to Masters rank, and it's kind of a crazy win. I think you guys will enjoy, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah, you go.
Good bub, good bub. Boarding on us.
Don't take that, don't take that.
No kidding.
Got one, got
Nice.
one. Push it.
Big
Right
man.
below, right below.
One.
Oh, I'm gonna
fuck.
self-pressing. I'm self-pressing.
Use my shield, use my shield.
I'm trying.
Yo,
8
guys,
seconds,
5
8
seconds on ring, 5 seconds on ring. You have to stick
Get
me.
the rest, get the rest, get the rest, get the rest.
No, I can't. I can't. We don't have time.
Why not? Just try.
These guys are aping us for some reason. I don't know why.
They're fighting. Just stay
I
alive,
know,
stay
I'm
alive.
hiding.
man.
Just stay alive, stay alive, stay alive.
Trying.
Yo, they're fighting so big. You got this, dude. Don't even shoot yet. Still don't shoot.
Oh,
You
there's a lot of people
You
there.
up. You can heal. You can heal. You can heal. They're pushing. That's one knock.
They don't know what to do, man.
These guys, you hit these guys, dude. Kids up, dude. Fuck these kids up. One's right here. One,
You
last
got
guy,
this,
last guy. Right here.
Multiple, isn't it?
No, it's just him. It's just him.
Shit, I'm out of light ammo. I'm out of light ammo completely. I gotta try to
Alright, it's
master them.
1v1, you got this.
No, I don't.
You win these all the time. You are better.
Let's go.
Let's go. Baby.
Bro, I don't know how I survived, dude. Thank God I had a Mastiff.
What a game.
Double
You got
knockdown.
like 500 damage there, but
Double knockdown
I
shield
got like 3
cover was big.
assists. That's all good.